Huong, and he'll be speaking on Buddhist ethics.
Before I start, I'll say a prayer to Guru Rinpoche. Buddha of the 3 times Guru Rinpoche, Lord of all accomplishments, great blissful one, bestower of all obstacles, wrathful taker of wise, as we pray to you, grant your blessings. Bless us with, please pacify the outer and secret obstacles. Bless us with the spontaneous fulfillment of our wishes. First of all, I guess I'll repeat a little bit of what the Thai from Chen Ren said I was going to say. When I start people in the Dharma path, in my lineage, there's 4 contemplations called the 4 thoughts that turn the mind to Dharma, that reverse the mind from samsara preoccupations. And one of them is to reflect on the precious human birth and not to take our circumstances that we're in now, with our body, with its senses, the mind that works, the mind that thinks, that understands, our health, and good circumstances where Dharma is taught, not to take those for granted, but to contemplate that these environment, these circumstances, both within oneself and the environment, are the result of accumulation of merit for us in the past, and that those good circumstances are easily lost and will not come again unless we are very, very careful with our time. In the same way, a gathering like this today, it's analogous to that teaching. This gathering today is something very, very precious. It's a first. I'm 40 years of practicing Dhamma. Have not ever seen anything like this. This has never before happened in Vancouver, and for those who made their efforts to have this happen, we should thank them. And the 2 who started it, there was Ashin Osaka, and then the monks and nuns from Bodhiyama, and then they drew in help from the monastery of Chang'an. These 3 were the foundation rock upon which this event came to happen, and I hope that we should, all of us, make efforts to make sure that it continues in the future, because I think it can do a great deal of benefit for the people, for people in BC, because then these teachings will be made more and more available in our culture. Now, a lot of what I do when I go out to give talks and teach Dharma is mostly, I decided some years back that I found, probably because I'm not someone at all charismatic and have little merit, that I should go to Kelowna and Kamloops to do some talks there, because there are very few who have exposure to the teachings, very few. And what I confront there a lot is people who keep telling me, a lot of them, they have the same, it's almost like a mantra, or it's the same kind of way of thinking in the population. And they say like this: I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. And I'm not a part of any religion. But yet they practice all the things and all the trappings of religion. They certainly, it looks like they are. But what has happened is these people have been turned off with perhaps going to a church, a mosque, or a synagogue. And I thought I'd talk today a little bit about what we have to offer to people like that. And that our teachings can enrich their path, and they can find a lot of really, really profound aids to their path within the Buddhist teaching. Now, first of all, the Buddhist teaching, of course, isn't, we don't think that Buddha was a god. That's a pretty important thing. And even if there's many different ways that teachings think about him. Some say that he was an ordinary person, and accomplished his path in this life after accumulating merit for eons before. And others will say that perhaps what happened was he was a being who was enlightened long in the past and appeared on earth to save the beings here, to help them. But in any case, he does never present himself as a god. His main, the way in which he helps beings is by teaching them the way to become the same as him, to follow the path to attain what he has attained. Not as much as we pray to him forever and ever, as God once said once recently, and here it says many times to people, it won't work. What is his mode of being, his whole life, his compassionate existence, was to show us a path to become like him. That's why he taught for 45 years. And all of his the talks that he gave that have been recorded are not viewed as some kind of, well, how should I say, revealed scriptures given to us by God. They're teachings to show us, to discover what we have in our very nature. And because that nature is so close to us, so very much a part of us, it can't be given to us by someone that we think is outside of us, someone we pray to for help. It is inherent in us, in each and every one of us. And his life's compassion, life's mission was to show that to us and to show us the means to first discover it and then enrich that discovery through application of what we've seen. Now, I do have some notes, and I don't know that I haven't really used them, but I thought, well, let's see. Now, we have a different view also of ethical principles, which I think is really good to look at. Now, some years back, I went to a talk of, now this isn't to criticize, a person called the Rebbe. If anyone knows who he is, maybe one or two other people know this, a great, great Jewish leader. And he talked about how what we should be doing in North America is instilling the fear of God in people. And so they're afraid of God because he's omniscient and watching them. Then they will be careful of what they do because they'll fear their punishment from God. Now we look upon ethics in quite a different sort of way. First of all, again, the ethical precepts, the teachings that we have are not given to us by some prophet who has a vision and then who's trying to spread the truth, which is his kind of personal possession, which he's trying to give everyone. Ethics, our ethical conduct is something that we follow. For one thing, it is the way in which we manifest the understanding that we gain through practicing the path of Dharma, through practicing the path of meditation, through practicing the path of purifying our minds. The sign of our understanding and of our growth in the spiritual path is how we behave. Some time years ago when I was in the 3-year retreat, that was always what was told to us. We were told, if you do lots of meditation all day, and if you have some strange signs or weird visions, that's not the point. The point is that you're more compassionate and you're kinder to other beings. That's the manifestation. The manifestation of our understanding. Our ethics are thought to one other reason, of course, the other reason we're taught the precepts is to make it to the most simple level is to create circumstances for us which are harmonious, because if we harm others and perform unskillful actions, we will have suffering in the future. But most importantly, really, for one who has trained in the teachings, we don't want to do things to harm others because they are so close to us. All the beings that we meet, that we see, that we hear, have limitless eons in the past been our mothers or our fathers, our sisters, our brothers. And then we have a close identity with them and shouldn't ever consider doing something which would really, really harm them. Now, at these times when there's a lot of disharmony in the world and people say there's religious strife, I think we have a real breath of fresh air to share with the society. And that's something important we need to talk about. First of all, our tradition does not engage in converting people. We don't want to. Myself, I understand that I've been taught that I should really share Dharma with people who ask for it. And we show respect for all spiritual teachings on earth. And on the other hand, we don't say that they are all one, that they all have the same ideas, or that they all necessarily have the same goal. We don't need to say that. We don't need to say that to make harmony between them. We can respect all of them, no matter how different they are, as long as, of course, they don't teach to harm other persons. We can see harmony in differences, no contradiction in having many different teachings. As I'm involved with a lot of interfaith activities, we don't have to agree on everything. We have to respect each other and tolerate each other, not just tolerate each other, but respect each other's paths, because each is fulfilling a need in the beings who are the followers. So that's something that I think that we need to share with the general population. So we don't need to. We have to spread this notion of harmony, that different beings and different beliefs is all fine. I don't want to, as Dalai Lama said many times when he comes here in North America and goes to Buddhist teachers' conferences, he keeps telling people again and again and again, Dharma teachers here, don't try and go and convert other people from Christianity or their beliefs. This is not what we're about. Each person should continue with their beliefs. We shouldn't try and contradict them or make people lose their strongly held beliefs. Now, I'm not sure what I was going to go to next. Yes, and I would say to those who are looking for a spiritual path that this one works. We can see it in those who practice it over a long period of time. It makes their mind calmer, certainly. We can see the signs of it, and that they are certainly very, very careful about what they do. Now, no. Yes. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Now, at least I want to get you some of these back. It's so serious. Now, yes, with our tradition, we don't have to take anything on faith. We have to examine and try it out. Now, that doesn't mean that when we try it out, we should just rely on our small opinions. There we're going to have some problems too. But we have to take a real look. Our tradition doesn't make lots of airy-fairy promises or anything like that. It's pretty truthful. It presents us with the stark truth, and also something that's a kind of good news, as Christianity would say, that our inherent nature, that the thing that we're trying to do with Dharma practice is discover something that's inherent in us. When I learned, after retreat some years back, I learned a system of practice, or started to learn a system of meditation called Great Perfection. My teacher then said something very important point. The difference between a Buddha and an ordinary being is that a Buddha recognizes the nature of their awareness, and an ordinary being doesn't. This is the one difference. The minds are different, basically different. One knows, the other doesn't know. And that one has recognized the nature, and the other hasn't recognized their nature. Now, also for those who just want to follow a spiritual path, there's something we have here that's unique, and that in this city just now, there are about, the teacher from my theater told me, I met him a few weeks ago, he said that there were about 85 different Buddhist groups here in the city. And as you can see, there are about teachers here, just sitting on the stage, and all the traditions of Buddhism, or most of them, the major ones, are here in the city all at once, which is just an amazing thing that we should be very grateful for. Our tradition has an enormous amount of spiritual wealth from people practicing for thousands of years, and also enlivening and enriching the tradition of all the different countries where it is, and also one sees a wealth of different approaches from the different countries, all of which are very valuable and are present for us here now. I had in my mind what I was going to say next, but as we know, minds are like a monkey, and they're constantly changing and shifting, so I just don't remember what it is, except to say, yes, that our tradition looks like, in many ways it looks like, that it's theistic. We've got all these statues, and we bow all the time, and we do prayers, and yes, it is like that. But all of those methods always point back to ourselves, point back to the reality of our own natures. They're like a mirror. And some persons, and another thing about our tradition, which is something that Westerners should appreciate here, who are looking for a spiritual path, although we have some institutions, they are not really hierarchical and authoritative. Now, the one tradition that I know very well has this important leader called the Dalai Lama. But if anyone thinks that he's like a pope or anything like that, they're really wrong. He has said that again and again. He doesn't have any authority over anyone. We don't have some kind of, I don't have to, this is the key thing, have obedience to a superior. That is not central to our monastic tradition, not in the way we think about it, where someone decides what we think, and although we have a tradition, the reason why we kept it alive is we have a paradox. What would we do if we didn't? Our sanghas, our organizations, and all the teachings that exist with all of these books and traditions are the compassionate means to keep the transmission of the teachings alive through the centuries. They're not meant to prop up an institution constantly. Their purpose is to keep the teachings alive. That's why that's why the monastic tradition is very important. It's what's kept the teachings alive. And for someone who wants to truly follow a spiritual practice, they don't have to start anew every time. They can find all of the wealth of spiritual methods within this vast tradition. Thank you.
Thank you, Venerable Our fourth speaker.
He said, all humans are born equal in essence. At the time in India, there was the 4 caste systems. You all know about the caste system. Even today, in some villages, it's still hard to get people to think beyond the 4 castes. You're born into your social class. Yet the Buddha, 2,500 years ago, he said, no. All humans are equal. So in Buddhism, we actually accepted monks and nuns that came from different social classes. So in a way, he is probably the world's first recorded human rights activist. Do you agree? Okay, what else did he propose? He said both men and women have the potential of attaining liberation. Wow. 2,500 years ago, proposing gender equality. My goodness. Way ahead of his time. What else did he propose? Even more. He said all living beings have the right to live and should be respected. All. Not just us humans. All living beings. My goodness, he was one of the first animal rights activists 2,500 years ago. Well, maybe I shouldn't say activist, I should use proponent to be more manly. Animal rights proponent. He was also a proponent of peace. And in his lifetime, he actually managed to stop a few wars. He would actually know that a war is about to happen, and he will go and sit by the road where the army would pass by and ask them to stop and not go and wage war. Without any violence. Just by talking, just by reasoning. So he was also a peace proponent. So in a way, us Buddhists celebrating the life of the Buddha today, and many non-Buddhists, and I think many closet Buddhists here, closet Buddhist here. And I have time to do a survey actually. I'm going to make this fun. We actually hired a PR company, Yulu PR, to do a street survey. It's called a Closet Buddhist Survey. And who is up for the survey right now? I'll read the question and you raise your hand, yes or no. Yes. Anybody? You know, you either yes or no. Okay. So I'm going to ask the question. Number 1, have you ever done something you knew was wrong and felt as if the world punished you for it later? You know, like karma got you. Anybody? Anybody? Okay, so we have a majority here. Question number 2. Have you ever attended a religious celebration outside of your own religion? Yes or no? Yes. Number 3. Do you agree with the statement, hatred can only be cured with compassion? Yes or no? Have you ever thought of learning meditation? Or have you meditated? Yes or no? Yes. Have you ever imagined who or what you were in another lifetime? Yes? Yes or no? Yes. My goodness, we have 5 questions already. And we are getting a majority of yeses. Continue. Do stories of violence and tragedy ever instill a desire for world peace in you? Yes. Do you think that animals have the same rights to live as humans? Yes. Number 8. Do you believe in taking responsibility for your own actions? Yes. That no one can absolve you from your own wrongdoings? Somebody can erase your wrongdoings? Do you believe in that? No, right? Number 9. Do you think you can change your own destiny? Yeah. Maybe. Well, you will after you learn meditation right after me. After this is guided meditation and contemplation. Okay? So, do you think you can change your own destiny? Yes. Do you agree that your environment is a reflection of your state of mind? Look at your own room. If your room is clean, your mind is organized. If your room is messy, come on, young people, admit it, young people, young kids. So I read 10 questions. So congratulations, you are all Buddhists or not the Buddhists. Thank you very much. So really, what does it mean being Buddhist or closet Buddhist? Isn't that the same as saying that one is another religious name? Buddhism, Buddha, it means enlightenment. A Buddhist is someone who aspires toward liberation, towards awakening. So in a way, all spiritual practitioners, can be considered Buddhist in a general sense. Now, Buddhists or closet Buddhists in the 21st century and beyond, we have a lot of responsibilities. We have been too passive for too long, too nice. Yeah, I'm a Buddhist. And when the extremists start saying, I'm an extremist, I want to kill, I want to hurt you, they are so loud. We're so nice. We're so low-key. We're so passive. No. The Buddha was an activist 2,500 years ago. He talked about peace without shame. He talked about equality without being afraid. What are we afraid of? Look how far the humanity has come today. Today, after 2,500 years since the Buddha's time, we consider now equality and fairness as something, as a widely accepted concept, right? We know that discrimination against race, gender, sexual orientation, or any kind is unacceptable to speak about in public. So we have come very far. We have come so far, but still not far enough. Not as far as what the Buddha was able to accomplish. So today, Buddhists, we are in the mature, ripe timing. All All of you closet Buddhists, come out of the closet, please. All of you Buddhists, don't hide. Talk about the Buddhist principles. Be proud of being Buddhist. We actually made buttons that says proud Buddhist. You can get them out there at the reception. Yes. So, 1 minute left. So what do I say? We must all join together with all the peace lovers, animal lovers, compassionate people, and harness our collective positive consciousness and radiate this energy outwards, starting from the people around you, and then let it expand. And one of the practices that we will be doing today is the loving kindness practice, where we will teach you how to become a generator of pure positive energy. So, 4:50, my talk is done. You are convinced. All the closet Buddhists, all of you, come out of the closet. Thank you very much.
We will now be moving on to meditation and contemplation. Our first meditation instruction will be by Venerable Agadama.
Greeting to all the monastic Sangha and monastic bhikkhu. A greeting to all the brother and sister, happy and healthy. Wish all you happy here. He is the founder of the Buddhist Foundation in Hong Kong. I'm a translator. I'm a Sangha, and now he is living in my temple. Actually, invited by his old friend named our president, Tang. That's why he came here and we had a chance to opportunity to listen to Vipassana meditation. Actually, he is a businessman like you that began amongst 6 years ago. At first, actually, I'm not a translator. They invited to the United States, named Latina. She gave up to us I'm very close to the Buddhist world, that's why I'm translator now. So because of you need to understand the Buddhist world.
purely Chinese Tamania, and Yami, same Indians with the Macaque name.
So he discovered, he found out most Buddhist people practice Buddhist teaching only there, called the samatha. It's either like chanting or like a sitting meditation or just for the and the surface level, not deep on the practice. So that's why he tried to say Buddhists is not like or prayer or worship, not like other religions. There's a right time to talk what the Buddha teaching is. So peace, we call it peace or the happiness. It is beyond the quiet or calm over the others, and it's deep level.
English language, Bible
so exactly to calm or the concentration is like you can find other the meditation class or maybe like a Bible, we said like this. But for the real happiness, we can find the title yoga or like others other teaching.
So, Dia Kana Chibane Sari, Alamo, Mitzi Alam,
you want to say thank you all the leader and organizer and kind of killer. This is the Buddha teaching.
Buddha see you like
so he happy to say. So we say, see here all the nuns and nuns coming together is called United Sangha. He happy to see here.
You right now. Zeluma, Alama, Nini about who young and Chini the Maya Indian are so
even though we have different color, the peace is oneness, one path, have to go.
Tiani girl, the question Jimaya Saria, let me reach it down your way. The girl of you are on the quack beyond the other achievement of loving and the Yatam Sidim Shiva.
So because of time, you don't have to time the teach the personal meditation. So just we have to talk briefly.
You at the several Nala and Shima,
so if you interested in Dharma or his teaching, come to the Maitanya and ask questions or practice together. Maybe even within 3 or 4 minutes. So for the talking is not good enough. Do is good enough to follow the final peace and happiness. So try to practice yourself first.
So the meditation will correct a child
so you may know if you practice vipassana meditation or yoga. At first, you try to meditate to find a peace or happiness, but you cannot find it at first. You find the pain and the sadness like this. No, you cannot find the peace at first.
And children listening to you, so Chechen and the Warrior, a Chile, a Chauria, Kumani.
So his technique is to find the real happiness within and you will three of the techniques you will talk to three of them, how to overcome the pain or how to overcome the body, the pain. So number one was wisdom be aware of. Number two is practice.
Number two
so number three is the practical. It's you later will find yourself. What happened in your body and mind, you will find yourself. You will discover yourself. So even you may know that samatha means concentration. Concentration means sometimes yoga, maybe sometimes you are breathing a bit on your home. So you may experience that kind of meditation.
Sangha talking for it, the matha will be your doing, your so
now here's a question. Now, so sometimes you think yourself and so you talk yourself alone or you think yourself alone at home sometimes you have that kind of experience. So you talking yourself.
Silent talking.
Silent talking.
Yes. So I don't know if quiet, being quiet, okay,
this is a disturbance of that. We call the attachment of the attainment nibbana, realization of nibbana, the attainment enlightenment. There's a hindrance. Thinking yourself or discovery, some imagination is this disturbances or the realization of nibbana. Five hindrances here. It is when you meditate, your mind is restless, like a monkey. So this is called Odessa. This is hindrances. So he want to teach you the technique of how to overcome the kind of hindrances, like your mind wandering or thinking too much. How to overcome that kind of things.
But it's a movement
it is in Pali, Patesa Tamupada, we call the dependent origination. Dependent origination. We call the Patesa Tamupada. So he said, to realize what happened in your body and mind, you need to concentration. We need absorption. What you are doing. Basically, we teach the Stipatana Sutta, the Atta. So it means we have to concentrate and do a nostril. Breathe in and out. This is the main object.
Simon the mouth, Joe Petty, Chilia, thank you, Lord.
So even though we try to do service and take so long, the realization, the two of the bodies and the short time, you can realize the short time.
We learn short time,
yeah, you know we have the Chinese proverbs. About this, when we said one cent, say like this: even though we are practicing the bringing out the long time, if you find what living here is, you know what happiness is.
Achieving your young people, the German message, Piazza, Nero, Zilugina, 1 hour, and I just something I told this technique, he needs 1 hour. Tomorrow, the Yale, Tomorrow, and then change tomorrow, so
that's why before the practice, he needs to explain to understand you, so you can find the way, the techniques, how to affect you.
The little mindset body is there, you can you are
so even though very difficult to explain what is mind and matter. What is mind and matter? So most of us, we know, even though we are an body and mind, we don't know what is mind or we don't know what is body. So he will now going to explain called nama. Nama means mind, a consciousness. You are the 4 things of the mind. So whatever Vipassana teacher say, Rupa, form. When we say the form, most of the people understand form taken the body. Actually, in the practice, the form is not really body. So he said, this is because you are the beginner or the first time to listen that technique. So very hard to explain the nama is a mind. What is mind? Hard to explain. He talking that it's about the Mayweather and Mike. The fighting chamber running, it's very hard to explain the body. Explain too much about the fighting the enemy. You cannot tell me.
I don't know how much you get to work as the most of the year, but I'm take it, Sarah machine, and Lisa, do not cut the John and I.
So here's you come to the art session or practice together a ritual, look at the system, if you know more about the Vipassana. So this is welcome to you all.
Remember today, come on, you know the body is shit. Say, all the galaxy for you.
So he want to challenge you. Come. If you want to know what is Vipassana, challenge you come and practice together with him. So because of language problem, that's why I don't know how to talk Vipassana. But you understand my translation? Okay, thank you. So his master His master, meditation master, is very famous. My country, Myanmar, called Myanmar. The Arahant, Chinese Arahant. So that's why we talk. His master is there. That's why he will come in. Oh, thank you for coming, sir. So if you all come to the Taiwanese, this is the new master. So the name is Taiwan. Okay, thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Instructor Venerable Vien Guang.